Last week at the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association's convention, a couple of different producers asked me about the effects of this hot weather on bull fertility. You know, on past cow-calf corners here on Sunup, we've talked about the effects of heat on the female side of the cow herd, but the other half of the equation also is affected by heat stress. There's been several experiments done through the years, and one of the most recent ones and most telling experiments was done here in Oklahoma back in the late 70s and early 80s. What they looked at was taking a group of bulls, splitting them in half, and half of the bulls were put into a heat stress type environment. Not a whole lot different than what we're experiencing every day here in Oklahoma this summer. The other half of the bulls were kept in a thermal neutral environment. That's something that stays around 70, 71 degrees around the clock. It only took about 2 weeks before those bulls that were in the heat stressed environment had lower semen quality. That means that their fertility would start to be affected. They left them in the heat stress for 8 weeks. And as you can see by this particular graphic, the percent in motile sperm cells that were being produced by these bulls went down to less than half, compared to over 70% for those bulls that were in the thermal neutral environment. A key point, that when the heat stress was actually removed and all the bulls were put back in that nice cool 70 degrees temperature around the clock, those that were in the heat stress, it took them another 8 weeks, 2 full months before they returned to normal semen quality. So remember that if you're having a bull checked here in the late summer, even the early fall months, if it looks like when we get the report back from the veterinarian that the semen quality might be a little bit below what we'd like to have, that's probably not a reason to cull the bull. Wait a few weeks, test him again. And you really probably want to test some of these bulls if you're going to use them again in a fall breeding season that starts in late November to make sure that they have recovered from the heat stress that we've had this year. It's going to take some time for these bulls to totally recover and to have normal semen quality as we've gone through a really hot, certainly July, August, and maybe even early September. Hey, we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.